that their organizations have been on, and then a couple tips and tricks for folks who are looking to do similar implementations themselves. So
first, if you've ever been to Dreamforce, this is our safe harbor statement. You know it, you love it. You can look it up on our website. Basically, it means that buy Salesforce for the awesome product, not streamline our processes using DocuSign. So that's what we'll be talking about today. So DocuSign by the numbers. These are specific to DocuSign usage for quotes. A lot of it is the cultural challenges of trying to get e-signature adoption when there's a physical process that's very much embedded in doing business in Japan. So yeah, we highlight the issues we have with adoption. And deal size, you can see here the deal size kind of flips the other way. If you look at this is really interesting. This is a report based on what I consider normalized revenue. So for opportunities between 50 and 2,000 apples roughly. But DocuSign deals are closing well over 100 days quicker on average. Now, is that because it takes 100 days to chase down the signature? No, it's because most likely there's either cultural issues or issues. The AE can attach the SOW or statement of work to the quote, and then that becomes available in our quote publishing process. Once that's selected, we send the SOW to DocuSign, we embed it in the QLV. When the customer signs it, might transact both new business and add-on quotes, or might transact from one company to another. When they leave one company and have one experience, then they come to another company and have a different experience. So it's a much smoother customer experience overall. The biggest, most important thing we've learned is that adoption requires top-down enablement and kind of have between the different systems and the different processes we have that are customers and tools to create a more seamless experience. That was quite a bit of custom API work that we did, so anybody who'd like to know how we did it, I can introduce you to our devs. Yes, ma'am.
First, I have to say I loved your quote about DocuSign being a condition of employment because I'm trying to get my salespeople to use DocuSign for Salesforce all the time. So with that said, do you have any additional insight as to how you actually drove additional adoption for having them use that system?
That's the challenge. She has mandated that we switch over to DocuSign for everything, and if for some reason a customer has a compelling need to print to PDF, they utilize DocuSign's capabilities and just deal with the watermark. We have some corner cases where we might have competitors of DocuSign or business partners. We do business with them, even though we love DocuSign, that might not want that watermark. And frankly,
usually I write down a couple of notes to introduce speakers on a note card to read out, but I couldn't do Elizabeth justice without reading what she actually put on her conference bio. Elizabeth believes in fitness of systems, mind, body, and technology all inclusive. As an early adopter of tools that enhance productivity, Elizabeth is...
Hi. Let's see if I can make this thing go forward. All right. So I am the manager of sales systems process, and is to create economic opportunity for every professional in the world. And recently we've added Linda and Elevate to those. Elevate was homegrown. They're connected to SIS with massive IQ that solve some really intense problems. Well, what you might not know is Walter O'Brien, real guy. We've done member-facing forms, including content permission, to view the document. When they sign the document, and you can even nag the internal signer and tell them to go sign it because your customer's done. And of course, track all the internal touch points that you end up using by solving sales touch points. Those people are your next customer. That'll do it. You mean what happens in every company ever? Okay, just thought I'd check. So, yes. Note to the revenue team that says this was what signed, please spend extra time signing. So like we tell the revenue team, right? So, I mean, we kind of pass the buck a little bit, but they'll do it. So, so they actually spend extra time because it was a wet signature, like we call out in big red text, and 150 in talent solutions. And then a few years later, we ended up with like 3,000 all of a sudden, which was like bizarre, but we had built it in. So that rollout was a lot easier. We now, when we build any new sales process, because we're very verticalized in our sales and only strategic people can sell across the entire scope of the portfolio, every process that we start, there's 3 core pieces that you will get. You get our standard, right.
So it's now about how do you, well, we're trying to look at how to connect to their workflow where they're at.
Out-of-the-box functionality is super powerful. Signing function in some of those processes. So for example, personnel action forms from within Salesforce.
T and the back office business.
Staff use the